The air in Seattle-Tacoma International Airport hangs heavy, thick with the hum of rolling suitcases and the sharp tang of overpriced coffee. I'm standing at Terminal C, my pulse hammering like a drumline, clutching my boarding pass so tightly. The edges crumple under my fingers. My name is Verity, and at 33, I thought I'd seen the worst of my family's coldness. But today, as I stand beside my grandfather, his weathered hands trembling, his gray eyes fixed on the gate ahead, I realize I've underestimated just how deep betrayal can cut. This isn't just a trip. It's a $59,000 dream my grandfather poured his life savings into, a final gift to stitch our fractured family together before age steals his strength. And now it's unraveling in front of me, one cruel word at a time. The terminal buzzes with travelers, businessmen in crisp suits, families herding kids with backpacks, a woman arguing with a gate agent over a delayed flight. But my world narrows. To the five of us, me, Grandpa, my mother Evelyn, and my sisters Clara and Mila. They're dressed like they stepped out of a travel magazine. Evelyn in a tailored cream blazer, her blonde hair pinned in a flawless updo. Clara and Lila in matching athleisure sets, their designer sunglasses perched like crowns. I'm the odd one out, as always, in my faded jeans and a thrift store sweater, my dark hair pulled into a messy ponytail. The youngest, the unplanned. The one who's always been a step behind, unnoticed. Grandpa, though he's the heart of this moment, his worn tweed cap tilted slightly, his suitcase older than I am, packed with hope for this European adventure. Happy birthday, old man. Clara's voice cuts through the terminal noise, too loud, too performative. She snaps a selfie with Grandpa before he can respond, her smile all teeth for her Instagram followers. Lila hands him a latte, her manicured nails gleaming. Don't spill it, Grandpa, she says, half laughing as if he's a child. He takes it with a soft smile, the kind that's always forgiven their indifference. I see it, though, the way their eyes slide past him, collecting moments for likes, not memories. I grip my boarding pass tighter, a knot of unease twisting. In my gut, something's wrong. I felt it all morning, like static before a storm dot. We reach the gate, and the air shifts. Evelyn, the polished matriarch, checks our passports with the precision of a general. Her brows furrow, her lips purse. Then she looks at Grandpa, her blue eyes cold as the Pacific Northwest winter outside. We forgot your ticket, she says, her voice flat, final. Go home. The words hit like a slap. Grandpa blinks, tilting his head as if he misheard. What? He asks, his voice gentle, confused. I step forward, my heart lurching. That can't be right, I say, my voice louder than I intend. Evelyn repeats herself, slower, each word a blade. We forgot your ticket, just go home. Clara crosses her arms, her lips twitching into a smirk. Lila pulls out her phone, scrolling, avoiding my gaze. The silence is deafening, a void swallowing the terminal's noise. I can't breathe. My mind scrambles, replaying the months of planning, Grandpa's excitement as he showed me brochures for Paris, Rome, Barcelona. He'd saved for years, cashed out a $60,000 fund he called his Europe dream, a legacy to share with us. And now this? I'll give him my seat, I blurt, stepping between them. I'll stay behind. He paid for this. He deserves to go. The crack of Evelyn's hand across my face echoes like a gunshot. My cheek burns, my vision blurs, and a gasp ripples through the crowd behind us. A woman in a red coat clutches her purse, staring. A man whispers to his wife. Grandpa flinches, not from the slap, but from the shame that follows. You always make everything harder, Evelyn hisses, her face inches from mine. Stop trying to be the hero. Blood pools in my mouth, not from the slap, but from the humiliation, sharp and bitter. I taste it, swallow it, and stand frozen. As they turn away, their backs are a wall, Evelyn's rigid shoulders, Clara's confident stride, Lila's casual sway. They pass through security, their laughter faint but cutting, blending with the airport's hum. I'm left standing beside Grandpa, two ghosts in a sea of strangers. My boarding pass is useless now, crumpled into a ball in my fist. Travelers rush past, their lives uninterrupted while we're invisible, discarded like trash left curbside. They just left us, I whisper, the words tasting like ash. Grandpa adjusts his cap, his hand shaking. I guess they did, he says softly, his voice barely above the terminal's drone. I want to scream to chase them down to demand answers. But more than anything, I want to understand why they'd use his money, his dream, and throw him away like he's nothing. The betrayal isn't new, I felt it my whole life. Birthday, parties I wasn't invited to, Christmas mornings with no gifts under the tree, college tuition promises broken while Clara and Lila got new cars. I paid half of Clara's student loans, stood outside her graduation photos, always on the edges, always hoping. But this is different. They didn't just erase me. They erased him. The terminal feels like a courtroom now, the judgment already passed. I look at Grandpa, his shoulders stooped, his eyes fixed on the gate where they disappeared. Something inside me breaks, not the kind that weakens you, but the kind that sets you free. I take his arm, my voice steady despite the tremor in my hands. Will get you home, I say. He nods, silent, and we walk toward the exit, each step heavier than the last. Outside, the Seattle drizzle coats everything in a gray sheen. I pull out my phone to book a rideshare, but the app crashes, locking me out. My stomach twists, something feels off. I try again, fingers fumbling, but the screen freezes, my payment details inaccessible. Come on, I mutter, glancing around. The parking lot stretches dark and empty, the neon glow of the airport fading behind us. A shadow moves near a parked van, and my pulse spikes. A man in a black hoodie steps forward, his face obscured, his voice low. Hand over the phone and wallet, he says, his hand twitching toward his pocket. My heart stops. Grandpa grips my arm, his voice a whisper. Verity, don't. I shove my phone into my pocket, pulling Grandpa behind me. We don't want trouble, I say, my voice shaking but firm. The man steps closer, his breath visible in the cold air. Now, he snaps. My mind races, nobody's around, the terminal too far to run. I grab Grandpa's suitcase, swinging it hard at the man's knees. He stumbles, cursing, and I yank Grandpa toward the taxi stand, my legs burning as we sprint. The man doesn't follow, but his shadow lingers in my mind. A warning I can't shake. The taxi ride to my Capitol Hill apartment is silent, the driver's radio crackling with a Mariners game. Grandpa stares out the window, his face unreadable. At home, I make coffee, the ritual grounding me as the smell fills the air. Neither of us drinks it. We sit at my tiny kitchen table, the silence stretching like a tightrope. I'll call them, I say finally, grabbing my phone. My voice cracks, but I don't care. There has to be a reason, a mistake. I call Evelyn first voicemail, then Clara. She picks up after 4 rings, her voice sharp, impatient. Verity, why are you calling? I swallow, my throat tight. Where are you? Did you land? A pause, then her bored reply. Yeah, we're in Paris. I press on, my voice rising. Why did you leave him? Why did all of you just walk away? Her tone shifts, defensive. Look, Verity, you don't get it. Mom made the call. We couldn't hold up the trip for some mistake. You're overreacting. Mistake? My voice cracks like glass. He paid for this. He heard you. Clara's response is cold. Mom said not to engage. If you're going to stir up drama, don't. The line goes dead. I stare at the phone, my hands shaking. Grandpa watches me, his lips pressed thin. Anything? He asks quietly. I turn, my voice barely a whisper. They're in Paris. He doesn't ask more, and I don't offer. The weight of it settles between us, heavy as the rain outside. Later, I try Lila. Her response mirrors Clara's, cold, detached, dismissive. It's complicated, Verity. He didn't need to come. I want to scream to shatter the phone against the wall. Each rejection confirms what I've ignored for years. They choose convenience over compassion every time. I sit on the floor, knees pulled to my chest, the Seattle skyline dim through my window. The city's alive out there, bars buzzing. Ferries humming across Puget Sound, but here the air feels too thin. My apartment too small. A text buzzes through the silence. It's from Nora, my cousin, the quiet one who's always stayed on the sidelines. Hey, just saw what happened at the airport. I'm sorry, if you need anything, call me. Her words hit like a lifeline. I type a reply, hesitate, then delete. Instead, I call. Hey, she answers, her voice soft, steady. I don't know what to do, I whisper, my voice breaking. I do, she says. Stop letting them make you feel crazy. You're not wrong, Verity, and you're not alone. Her words sink deep. A crack of light in the dark. That night, Grandpa sleeps in my guest room, his breathing shallow but steady. I lie awake, staring at the ceiling, memories flooding like a broken dam. I'm 12 again, clutching a certificate from a writing contest, beaming as I tell Evelyn at dinner. She doesn't look up from her phone. Clara made varsity, she says. That's real news. I vanished that night, and every night since, shrinking to fit their narrative. But Grandpa, he was the one who framed that certificate, hung. In his study. He's the one they're erasing now, and I won't let them. My phone buzzes again, an unknown number. Thought you should know. The trip wasn't just for Grandpa's birthday. My heart slams against my ribs. I read it again, the words blurring. Who sent this? Why now? I slip out of bed, the apartment cold against my bare feet. In the kitchen, I pour water I don't drink. The fridges hum my only company. The message gnaws at me, a puzzle piece that doesn't fit. I spend hours digging through emails, group chats, booking confirmations. I even log into Grandpa's email, his password still taped under his desk, same as always. At first, nothing seems off. Then I see it. The flight confirmation from Evelyn's personal email, not a travel agency. No payment trail from Grandpa's. Accounts. The hotel bookings are the same crop screenshots. No financial proof. My heart turns to stone. This wasn't his trip. It was hers, funded by him, designed to exclude him dot by dawn. My laptop screen burns my eyes. The truth is clear. Evelyn used Grandpa's $60,000 Europe fund, closed 3 months ago, to stage a trip he was never meant to join. My stomach churns. I text Nora, call me. She answers, her voice cautious. What's wrong? I don't hesitate. Do you know if Evelyn's planning anything with Grandpa's estate? A pause, then a shaky breath. I heard rumors. Something about changing his power of attorney. But she never asked him? My blood runs cold. They didn't just steal his dream, they're stealing his future. I pace the apartment, my bare feet slapping the hardwood. Grandpa's still asleep, unaware his family's betraying him on a scale I can't yet grasp. I open a text to Evelyn, type, delete, type again. Then I stop pretending. If you don't explain the missing financial documents by tonight, I'll assume you stole from Grandpa. I will act accordingly. I hit send, my hands don't shake. Her reply comes fast. You're being dramatic. I won't tolerate threats. The words hit like another slap, but this time I don't flinch. Something shifted, not anger, not sadness, but resolve. I open my laptop again, pulling up Grandpa's property files. He'd shown me years ago a modest house inherited from his father, a retirement fund, and that Europe fund. Then I see it as $60,000 withdrawal, labeled closed. My jaw clenches so tight it hurts. I print the statement, staple it, slide it into a folder. When Grandpa wakes, I don't tell him. Not yet. I make tea, the ritual a shield against the storm building inside me. As night falls, I sit with the folder in my lap, Seattle's skyline glittering beyond my window. My old college mentor's words echo. Silence is not peace. It's a strategy. Use it when it suits you. I'm done begging for truth. Tomorrow, they're meeting extended family at a villa in Tuscany. I booked 2 tickets, one for me, one for Grandpa. This isn't about respect anymore. It's about justice. But as I close my laptop, my phone pings again. Another anonymous text. You're not wrong, but it's worse than you think. Meet me in Tuscany. My breath catches. The room spins. Who's watching? What do they know? I glance at the folder, the tickets, the city outside. The game's just begun, and I'm already in deeper than I imagined. The plane's descent into Florence feels like dropping into a lion's den. My stomach churns, not from turbulence, but from the weight of what's coming. I'm Verity, 33, and I've just flown across the Atlantic with my grandfather, chasing a family that betrayed us. The anonymous text from last night burns in my mind. You're not wrong, but it's worse than you think. Meet me in Tuscany. Who sent it? What do they know? Beside me, Grandpa stares out the window, his hands folded, his tweed cap resting on his knee. He hasn't spoken much since Seattle, but his silence carries a strength I'm clinging to. This $59,000 trip his dream. His savings was stolen by my mother, Evelyn, and my sisters, Clara and Lila. They left us at SeaTac like we were nothing. And now I'm here to demand answers, armed with a folder of evidence and a resolve that feels like steel. Tuscany's golden hills roll beneath us. Postcard perfect, but mocking. I book these tickets on a hacked travel account, my heart pounding as I bypass the glitch that nearly locked me out again. Someone's watching, tampering, and the memory of that hooded figure in the airport parking lot still sends a shiver down my spine. I glance at Grandpa, his face etched with lines of quiet endurance. We're almost there, I say, my voice steadier than I feel. He nods, his gray eyes meeting mine. You sure about this, Verity? I swallow hard. No, but we're doing it. The plane touches down, and I brace myself for war. The villa in Chianti is a sprawl of stone and ivy, its tall windows glowing against the dusk. The air smells of olive groves and wine, but the beauty feels like a trap. My heels echo on the cobblestone path, each step a countdown to confrontation. Grandpa walks beside me, slower now, his suitcase rattling behind him. Inside, the banquet room is alive with clinking glasses and forced laughter extended family. Cousins, aunts, all gathered for what Evelyn called a celebration. My pulse hammers as we step through the doors. Conversations stall, heads turn, and the room crackles with tension. I spot Evelyn first, her cream blazer swapped for a silk dress, a glass of Chianti in her hand. Clara and Lila stand beside her, their designer outfits gleaming, their faces a mix of shock and disdain. Verity, Evelyn says, her voice dripping with condescension. You finally decided to show up. Her smile is a blade, sharp and cold. I step forward, deliberate, my voice cutting through the hum. Didn't think I'd miss the celebration. Clara sneers, crossing her arms. What are you even doing here? I meet her gaze, unflinching. I have questions about Grandpa, about his money, about why you lied at the airport. Gasps ripple through the room, sharp and audible. Evelyn's face pales, then flushes red. I don't know what lies Nora's been feeding you, but save it. Her voice is tight, but I hear the crack in it. I don't back down. You told him you forgot his ticket. That wasn't a mistake. You used his estate fund to trust for his care to fund this trip, then left him behind. The room goes silent, forks frozen mid-air, eyes darting between us. Clara laughs, sharp and hollow. What is this? Some kind of scene? You always loved attention. I ignore her, my focus locked on Evelyn. You lied to him. You lied to everyone. And I'm done pretending. Across the room, my cousin Theo stands, his face calm but resolute. He's always been neutral, the quiet one at family gatherings, but now he steps forward. Verity's right, he says, his voice steady. I saw the emails. She wasn't copied. Grandpa wasn't copied. Those flights weren't an accident. The silence deepens, suffocating. Evelyn's jaw tightens. You have no idea what you're talking about, Theo. But her voice wavers just enough to betray her. Theo doesn't flinch. Then why delete the original reservation confirmations? Why rebook everyone else separately? Clara hisses, You went through my email? Theo's calm is unshaken. I went through the family account, we share it, remember. Evelyn's mask slips, her knuckles white around her glass. She Steps closer, her voice low, venomous. You think dragging up old emails changes anything? This isn't your business, Theo. And you, Verity, you've always been the disappointment. Her words hit like a punch, familiar but no less painful. I've heard them before at dinners, graduations, every time I dared to hope for her approval. But this time, I don't flinch. I stand taller, my voice steady. Not anymore. Theo's hand hovers near my shoulder, a silent gesture of support. I don't take it, but it anchors me. I've seen the legal documents, I say, my voice carrying. The ones tied to Grandpa's estate. I know where the money for this trip came from. It wasn't yours. A ripple runs through the room. Evelyn's face drains of color. Layla barks a laugh, but it's hollow, nervous. Don't start, she snaps. I press on, louder now. You used Grandpa's trust, set aside, for his care to fund your celebration a trip meant to exclude him. A sharp intake of breath echoes from an aunt behind me. Theo nods once. I saw the withdrawals. Evelyn looks trapped, her eyes darting between us. It's not what you think, she says, but the room knows better. The tension is a live wire sparking, ready to ignite. Then my phone buzzes. I glance down an unknown number. You're not wrong, but it's worse than you think. Meet me outside, now. My heart lurches. I look up, catching Theo's eye. What is it? He asks, his voice low. I swallow. Hard. I think this trip wasn't just about the birthday. The room spins slightly, the weight of the message pressing against my chest. I excuse myself, murmuring to Grandpa that I'll be right back. His eyes follow me, worried but trusting God outside. The Tuscan night is cool, the stars sharp against the black sky. The cobblestone path is empty, but I feel eyes on me. I clutch my phone, my breath shallow. A figure steps from the shadows, near. The olive trees tall, hooded, their face obscured. My pulse spikes, the SeaTac parking lot flashing in my mind. Who are you? I demand, my voice shaking but firm. The figure raises a hand, calm, and pulls back the hood. It's Elise, my cousin, her eyes wide with urgency. Verity, I didn't want a text from my number. They're watching. What do you mean? I ask, my voice barely above a whisper. She glances over her shoulder. There's a clause in Grandpa's will, a secondary one, updated 2 years ago. He shifted a chunk of his savings into a trust for you. They know, and they're trying to bury it. My stomach drops. Why? Elise hesitates, then hands me a folded paper. Because it gives you control. They plan this trip to isolate him, to prove he's unfit before the trust goes public. I unfold the paper, a scanned will clause, Grandpa's signature clear at the bottom. My hands tremble. This isn't just betrayal. It's theft on a scale I hadn't imagined. Before I can respond, headlights cut through the dark. A black SUV screeches to a stop, and a man in a dark jacket steps out, his face shadowed. Get in, he barks, his voice low, threatening. Elise grabs my arm. Run. We sprint toward the villa, my heart pounding as footsteps thud behind us. I stumble on the cobblestones, my ankle twisting, but Elise pulls me up. We duck behind a stone wall, the man's flashlight sweeping inches from us. My breath catches, my mind racing. Who sent him? Evelyn? Someone else? The light passes, and we slip back inside, my chest tight with fear. Back in the banquet room, the air feels heavier, the stairs sharper. I clutch the will clause, my resolve hardening. I step toward Evelyn, my voice loud enough to silence the room. I know about the second will, the trust in my name. You didn't just steal his money, you're stealing his future. Gasps again, louder this time. Evelyn's face twists, but she recovers fast. You're ruining this family, she snaps. I meet her eyes, unflinching. No, Mom, you did that. Elise steps forward, her voice steady. She's not lying. Grandpa put it in writing. You can't bury this. The room crackles, relatives shifting uncomfortably. I pull out my phone, my hands steady now, and play recording Grandpa gave me weeks ago, one I hadn't understood until now. His voice, frail but clear, fills the room. They'll try to cut you out, Verity. They've been planning it for months. Don't let them. The silence is absolute, a weight that presses down on everyone. Evelyn's mask cracks, her eyes darting to the exits. Clara storms out, her heels clicking furiously. Leela glares but says nothing. Evelyn's voice is low, dangerous. You think you've won? I don't answer, but the power has shifted, and she knows it. As I lead Grandpa out, my phone buzzes again. My brother, Ethan. You think you've won? You have no idea how deep this goes. My blood runs cold. The villa's warmth fades behind us, the Tuscan night swallowing us whole. Back at our hotel, I call Margaret Klein, the lawyer who's seen me through too many battles. Her voice is steady over the crackling line. They planned this, Verity. The estate, the accounts, there's more buried here. She confirms withdrawals from Grandpa's accounts, timed with the trip's planning. Do you want to move forward? She asks. I nod, though she can't see me. Yes. She sends paperwork legal language like shards of glass. I sign, my hands steady, knowing this is war. The next morning, Clara's voicemail hits like a venomous dart. I heard you're trying to sue Mom. Real classy, Verity, after everything she's done for you. Her tone is sweet, poisonous. And by the way, people are talking. Check what's being said about you. I open my messages, and my heart sinks. Screenshots, rumors, lies my family spreading stories that I'm unstable, manipulating Grandpa for money. A photo of me helping him from a cab last year is captioned. She's isolating him. My breath catches, the betrayal cutting deeper than I expected. I drive to Margaret's Florence office, the Tuscan roads winding and treacherous. Halfway there, a car tails me, too close, its driver hidden behind tinted windows. My hands grip the wheel, my pulse racing. I speed up, weaving through narrow lanes, but the car follows, relentless. At a sharp turn, I swerve into a vineyard's dirt path, hiding among the vines as the car roars past. My heart pounds, my hands shaking. They're not just fighting with words, they're playing dirty. At Margaret's office, we review Elise's documents. The will clause is real. Grandpa named me trustee of a $200,000 savings fund. He knew what was coming, Margaret says. That's why they isolated him. The trip wasn't a celebration, it was a setup to declare him unfit, to seize control before the trust surfaced. I lean back, the chair cold against my spine. I need to confront them again. I say, my voice steady. Margaret nods. Do it smart. 2 days later, I crash an uninvited engagement party in Florence's historic district. The banquet room is all crystal chandeliers and polished wood, but the air is thick with hostility. I step inside, my simple black dress a stark contrast to their elegance. Conversations stop. Eyes turn some shocked, some hostile. Evelyn speaks first, her voice ice. Oh, you're here to ruin another event. I step forward, calm but deliberate. I'm here for answers. About the will. About why you're stealing from Grandpa. The room erupts and murmurs. I hold up the will clause, my voice rising. You knew about this trust, and you planned this trip to cut him out. Elise steps forward, her voice unwavering. It's true, I saw the documents. Evelyn's face twists. You're destroying this family. I meet her eyes, my voice clear. You did that when you left him at SeaTac. The confrontation is cut short by a commotion outside. A man in a dark coat lingers near the entrance, his eyes locked on me. My stomach twists another threat. I slip out a side door, Elise following, but he's faster, cornering us in the alley. You're digging too deep, he growls, his hand on something in his pocket. I freeze, my heart hammering, but Elise throws a glass bottle at his feet, shattering it. He stumbles, and we sprint to my car, my hands shaking as I start the engine. We escape, but the fear lingers, a reminder of how far they'll go. Back in Seattle, I sit with Margaret, the weight of it all pressing down. They're trying to scare you, she says. It's working, I admit, my voice small. No, she counters. You're still here. That's not nothing. We file a legal complaint, and by morning the news explodes. Seattle woman battles family over grandfather's fortune. My phone buzzes with reporters, friends, strangers. Evelyn's side goes silent until her next move. An email from her to a private investigator titled, "What Will Ruin Her?" lands in my inbox, forwarded by an unknown ally. The war is not over. It's just beginning. I stand outside the courthouse, Seattle's rain soaking through my coat. Inside, everything Grandpa trusted me with hangs in the balance. I think of his words, "Don't let them." I won't. But as I step through the doors, Ethan's text echoes, "You have no idea how deep this goes." My resolve hardens, but the question gnaws. What else are they hiding? And who's on my side? This fight has taught me something raw, something American in its grit. Family isn't just blood. It's who stands with you when the knives come out. To anyone feeling cast aside, know this: your voice matters, even when it shakes. Speak, fight, stand. Because no matter what they say, you're not invisible. You never were.